Is sponsored by the Dumbphone Finder. The Dumbphone Finder is a tool that allows you to filter through different features and find your perfect device. Make sure to check it out in the link below. Today we're taking a look at the Blackberry Classic. This is quite an old device now, and it still works in 2022 with a couple of tweaks. I showcase how to get it set up on a live stream. I will make sure to link that below. But essentially here, what I'm going to be showcasing is how the operating system still works here in the United States and what you have to do to make it work. First of all, the hardware still holds up pretty good. It has a lot of premium materials, a lot of metals, and of course there's some plastic, rubbery plastic though. It does have a little bit of a feel, and it's not your cheap plastic that you find in most of today's smartphones, at least the non-premium ones. But then you have the operating system is Blackberry OS. Of course, you have your keyboard. And again, I want to say it still works in the United States as of May 19, 2022. That's when I'm recording and publishing this video. And I'm excited to say, that still works with a couple of carriers. It does not work with Verizon. This is actually a Verizon version, as you can see here in the back. It works only with AT&T, and that is with MVNO carriers. Also with T-mobile MVNO carriers like US Mobile, Mint Mobile, things of that nature. And of course, you can still make it work on Wi-Fi. Some features do not work anymore, like for example, the Blackberry World. This has been decommissioned, so you essentially don't have the ability to use it anymore. And you have, of course, a couple of extra things that may not work very reliably. But a lot of the things still work, and that's actually very encouraging. You still have a browser. It still works pretty decently. It is a little bit old at this time, but it's not impossible to make it work. You have a lot of nifty features. You have things that get blocked because of certificates that are outdated, like this one, for example. But there are still some things that are able to work, especially Google searches, things of that nature. So you're able to have that ability to still use certain websites, and of course some of them are not going to work because this is an outdated browser. It's still very decently responsive. It's not amazing when it comes to being responsive, but it does pretty decently. Again, it's not going to rival the smartphones of today, but it does get you out of a pinch if you need some information. Of course, this is the Cascade system, or the different system that has been adopted now by some operating systems like Selfish OS, where you can open different applications. And of course, as you open them, they will showcase there. You can go back and forth between them. It's actually a very nice system. And of course, you have the Blackberry Hub, which has everything: calls, emergency alerts, pin messages. BBM does not work anymore. Notifications, priority hub, things of that nature that you can configure. And I personally like that system. I think it's the most clever system for messaging and emails that does still work. The email client still works. And it has a lot of those nifty features with the Blackberry Hub, which a lot of people seem to miss. Now, as you see, I do have a couple of extra applications here that I'm able to install. This is also running on the background Android 4.3. So it is a very old version of Android, but it does work with certain apps. So for example, Spotify. So if you're looking for a Spotify replacement, there is a version of Spotify that still works as of May 2022. So you're still going to be able to use it. Is it fast? No, it's not fast, but it does work once it loads. So you're going to be able to listen to podcasts or things of that nature. You're going to be able to search and browse and go over all of the different things. You also have some Android. For example, this is a podcast application that still works. As long as it's 4.3, it will work. Again, it's slower due to the reality that it is a little bit, dated, and especially the processor and operating system are dated for the app, but it does still work. As you see, this is one of those areas where, hey, it's not going to respond. Can you close it? Go back, open it again, recycle through it, and at some point in time, it's going to work. I've been able to make it work in the past. And of course, maybe right now is because I have different applications open, it's probably using a lot of resources. But there are other applications that you may want to check out. There is a website from Crackberry from the forums that tells you essentially what works and what doesn't up to 2022 and what apps are worth pursuing. You do have an app store of sorts. It's not very feature filled. The app store here for the Amazon App Store, it only showcases apps that are compatible with 4.3 and it's pretty lacking. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend using the App Store, maybe if you want to install something that is here, but you're not going to be able to find a lot of things. And as you see, there's an update there to see what's going on. But essentially, it still works for the basics. So it works more as a Dumbphone than it works as a regular smartphone, even though it does have some smart capabilities. Because it's so dated, I would still recommend it. I would say it's very well recommended. As you see, the Amazon App Store changed there, so there was a big update probably that I haven't installed, but it works with 2 carriers here in the United States, and probably outside of the United States it will work more reliably. I personally think it's a good device, and you can still use a lot of the basic features like the calendar. You still have access to a full feature calendar, sync with a lot of email providers, things of that nature. So you still have access to that. As you see here is the Amazon App Store. I guess it's the new version, the newest version that has been installed. But as you see, it's very slow. It's not something that you're going to be using a lot of smartphone apps here and there. It's more of like, oh, okay, you know, I have the ability and capability of using the device for the basics. The keyboard is excellent. I missed typing on a keyboard. I'll do a little test right here. To this tester number. Hello, my name is Jose, and this is a test for YouTube. And again, it's very nice. It still has autocorrect. You can move, you can copy, you can insert emojis. Of course, there's more featured, there's less featured support because, again, it's an older device, but it works excellently well for the basics. And I think it's a good alternative if you still want to use some smartphone apps or some, you know, things that you may want to have. It still works for a lot of things here. So I personally recommend the Blackberry Classic. The camera is decent. It's not amazing. It's definitely better than most dumb phones, but it's not going to, you know, rival the iPhone or things of that nature. But right here you see some of the apps that are available. Of course, top charts you can go. There's a little bit of like maybe a discrepancy on the way that it showcases some of these things due to the size of the screen. Is also quite small for, you know, most smartphones. But you'll be able to have access some applications, and you can always sideload them. Just put them on a file manager, connect your phone to your computer, download the files. As you see right here, I have a couple of APK files that I was trying to make, you know, the installation. Some of them do work as long as it's 4.3. Some of them don't work. As you see, there may be some extra things that you may need to do. But that is my short thoughts, a little review, if you will, of the Blackberry Classic in 2022. Still a very capable device. It still has a smooth operating system just for the basics. Do not overload this with heavy applications. And I think it still lives on. So it's really exciting to see what it can do and what it can offer for a lot of people that don't want a full-fledged smartphone. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.